accused number 3 requires is that she wants me to elucidate certain things that were from the questions that were put to me during my argument, relating to certain things or questions that the state asked as well, and what the state said about what was said when she testified. Because she is, she knows, she says she knows what she said during her evidence. I explained to her that we already have the record typed and we know everything that she said, but she wasn't convinced, or she's not, she actually just wants to elucidate certain points that I made, and she feels that she needed to add more because she feels apprehensive that, maybe I didn't articulate them enough, because she obviously in a position she feels apprehensive. That's the only submission I have to make at this point. I'm not sure how the state feels about me addressing the court further.
You are still her counsel?
I am.
She's saying that you fired her?
No, not at all.
Herself, or what's the position?
Not at all, my lord. She's just apprehensive, and she just feels that when the questions were asked during the argument, the last stages, and also during the state's address, certain aspects of what came out today, she wants to elaborate on.
Is she allowed to elaborate, bearing in mind that you are counsel?
My lord, I personally, I could submit that I've already made all the necessary submissions in relation to sentence, but I, as counsel, I have to take her instructions from her, and she feels that she needs to say something more. I need to inform the court.
Mr. Roberts?
Thank you, my lord. The state opposed the application by accused number 3, my lord. The accused number 3 is being represented by counsel, and if she feels that she didn't do her job adequately and need to elaborate on what has been asked and said in court, then she can still do that, and the counsel for accused 3 can approach the court and ask to place those further submissions also before the court. But for the court to allow her to do it from the stand, the accused stand, to my mind, is not the correct procedure, and therefore the state opposes such a procedure to be followed.
I don't think the state, maybe the state misunderstood what I'm saying. Instruction is that I place them on record, these further submissions.
I thought that...
It's not that she wants to place submissions on court.
Then I think there's no difficulty.
She just wants me to use it to place on record these that against the new instruction.
I think when you addressed me earlier, I thought that she wants to stand up and say, look, I want to... No, she wants you to place...
No, that's not the position.
There can't be a debate about it. I think you can do that.
Yes, the court pleases noted. May I proceed?
Yes, you may.
Okay. She wants to tell the court that the mitigating circumstances presented to the state whilst negotiating a plea bargain with LaRue cannot be compared to her circumstances where she pleaded not guilty and she now decided to come clean with the court at a later stage. Is completely different, because at the stage when LaRue, with his plea bargain, she's of the view that LaRue didn't raise any defenses or didn't even say that he was manipulated at that stage. And she wants to emphasize the fact that her position at present can't be compared to that of LaRue with regard to sentence money. So in other words, what she's trying to convey to the court is that she feels that the sentence LaRue received shouldn't be the same sentence as what she received. Then secondly, my lord, she wants to say that in her evidence in chief, she was only, she not only said that she realized the lies and manipulations of accused number 2, but that realizing this, when she realized the horror of what she had done and had been part of. She further went on to say that it was because of the guilt she felt at that stage that she realized that she didn't, and that was the reason why she decided to testify and tell the truth. It was not only because she no longer wanted to live a lie. And she said that this is all on record now. Thirdly, that the state pointed out that the period of inactivity in the arguments and said that this was a period where there were no, there was a lacuna there was a break in the actual commission of crimes. During that period, she says that she did tell the court in her evidence that actually they were planning various crimes, but then nothing was carried out because there was some reasons that they couldn't be carried out. So there was no real time during that break that the court referred to, as well as the state during the question.
Does it relate to the
that period?
issue around George Stockman about?
No,
she's after Jake's.
After the Jackson murder.
After Jake's, the Williams disappeared.
Yes.
Because I recall he had made available a recording to one police officer, I forgot his name, and the group had decided not to do anything because they were not so sure about Jake's W or something would have done with that information. She's referring to that, or she's saying there was, they planned to do other...
She's referring to other incidences where she says, because the submission by the state was that what happened during that period when she was inactive or she wasn't involved, and then there was no cult manipulation or there was no manipulation happening at that stage. She's saying that during that period there were instances where they were making plans to commit other crimes which didn't materialize, and that she was constantly still under threat and under the same manipulation.
Obviously, I think I will go back to the transcript to have a look at what she said.
Indeed, my lord. She says that the pressure to commit the murders and to find victims were never lifted, as well as the threat to anyone that might consider turning on the group. Then, my lord, she says that...
and there obviously is a recollection of the evidence that she gave in sheet.
Indeed, madam. She says that she was still able to achieve good marks in spite of the illegal activities that she was engaging in, because and the psychologist testified that it was because she was able to dissociate herself from the horrendous events as a coping mechanism, and that's why she was able to do so. And then she says that a bigger factor that seems to be problematic to this court is her intelligence. The psychologist made it clear that to the court that when dealing with the long-term manipulation and indoctrination in conditions such as I was exposed to, one's level of intelligence does not make one less susceptible to such manipulations, especially when one takes into consideration that I was very young when I was exposed to. She further wants to submit to the court that she was not complicit in her mother's decision to testify when her mother testified, and that while she testified, she did say that her mother's decision that according to her mother, it was what God wanted her to do, to exonerate accused number 2 and number 3. And that while testifying, my lord, I'm not too sure what this means. Can I just clarify just one aspect? wants the court to know that she tried to convince her mother not to testify and plead guilty, but that her mother told her that it's God's will and that God wanted her to do it. And this was all done in order to exonerate accused number 2 and 3. And that when testifying, she said that she applied to study, but was fearful of the reaction. And she testified that she was constantly praying not to get caught, and that she tried not to actively think it so as not to get caught. And those are for the solution.
Did she read your heads?
I did give my kind of a copy available to her, which I did explain.
Mr. Roberts, any response? What is the
My Lord, some of the matters placed before the court now, and the fact that seems to me, from my point of view, as if it's new evidence and has not been testified in during her testimony, but I speak under correction because I haven't got the transcript of the record, and the record will speak for itself. If that is new evidence, that can clearly not be taken into account, because then she's now opening the door for new evidence, and she's not allowed to do it at this stage.
But of course, I think I will go back to the transcript and just make sure that what has now been placed before me is reflected in the transcript.
Indeed, my Lord. And we are bound by the transcript.
Yes.
Say for that, my Lord, and that it's clearly that the stance taken by accused number 3 now is another indication that she's a very matured woman. That's all, my Lord.
Well, obviously, I think every accused person has got the right to bring certain facts to the attention of their counsel, especially during closing address.
Indeed, my Lord.
But I think my task will then be to make sure that what's been put to me is factually correct.
Indeed, my Lord.
The matters and response to the 19th of August 2019 judgment of sentencing. The accused remain in custody. Mr. Good sir, you're excused.
Thank you, my Lord.
You're adjourned.
Truly indebted.
All rise.